Hey, Jack.
Yisroel, Ahavat.
How are you?
Baruch Hashem. Baruch
Jack,
Hashem.
where are you right now?
In Hanukkah.
Are you in? No, where are you from? New York, New Jersey?
What do you say?
Like where? Wait, where are you from originally?
From Teaneck.
From Teaneck. Got it. So are you in Teaneck right now?
I'm in Hanukkah, but I'll text you afterwards. Afterwards.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right.
All right. Bezrat Hashem. All right, let's start it up. Let's fire it up. So 3 days until Shabbos. We have 124 until Hanukkah, and we have 40 until Rosh Hashanah. 40 days. Yasla, where we're here, we're preparing, we're trying to build our Kalim for Rosh Hashanah, the big day, and for right now. So Atfil B'Shem Yisroel for Pesach for Uvim Ben Yosef Asar Bakabas Yehudis. Miriam Dodo Bas Chani Uchav Yonah Bas Basa Shir Bas Basa Sinai Uvim Ben Mani and every Neshama in Klal Yisrael. Ribbona Shalom, grant us holy wisdom and intelligence, and let us always see all things in the light of the holy wisdom they contain, and so attach ourselves to you through everything in the world. Let us understand the constant messages and signals you send us to come closer to you, Bezrat Hashem. All right, halacha l'maisa. We're moving on, and we're talking about the halachos about preparing oneself for prayer and what one must wear for prayers and what's suitable. So we're talking about having a clean body. So we're in Chelik 4 of Siman Yud Bet. So one who is certain they cannot hold himself from passing gas until he finishes reading the Shema and Shachri Shemona Esrei prayer. It is better that he let the time of the reading of the Shema and the time of the Shema and the time of prayer pass than to pray without a clean body. And if due to this the time for prayer had indeed passed by, he is reviewed as one who is considered forced to unavoidably miss prayer, and he may therefore make up this prayer by adding an additional prayer later, as will be explained below in Siman 21, and we'll have to get to that Bezrat Hashem in 15, 16 days, or even more. If it seems to him that he can hold himself back during the reading of the Shema only, then he should put on tefillin between the blessing of who chooses his people Israel with love and the beginning of Shema, and reciting the blessings on the tefillin then. It says here in the footnote, immediately after reciting the Shema, he should remove his tefillin. However, he may continue to wear the talis because it does not require a clean body. So we have to see the Pri Megadim in Siman 80, which discusses the halacha regarding one who suffers from a chronic condition and causes flatulence. The cover Bezrat Hashem, we should just we have to go through the halachos. And let's fire it up. So we are on the 9th point, the 9th Nikuda, and we actually have one more after this. Rav Itchemeyer is Nikudos on Achdut, and what it means to bring Achdut into the world and to live Achdut. So let's fire it up. Mi shizacher liyot miuchad b'leiv emet. in Kol Yehudi, one that merits to be united, mamash in the deepest depths of his heart with all of Am Yisrael. Because again, we're all connected, and that's what we've been speaking about over the past 2.5 weeks. Being connected, we're one, and we have to look within the Pnimius, miyad, azai, im tiyeh, chisara, mimenu, ezo, mitzvah. And Chaver, this is the biggest Yisod in the world. You know, we a couple of days ago, we talked about the Yossi, the meat of Yosef Atzadik, which is Yisod. Right, and this is the Yisod. Wow, this is mamash unbelievable. So if someone is missing a mitzvah or someone's missing something at all, bichlal, yuchal lehashlima al yidei shezulato hamikushar imo ash'a, I believe, or aseh, ki heim teguf echad. If someone's lacking anything, if someone's lacking a mitzvah, he's able to complete this mitzvah because he's connected to others. And we are one neshama, we are one body, like we learned. This is insane, Chaver. This is insane. So there's two Maisas, and I'm going to share an abridged one, and I'm going to read straight from the source itself, from Ketuvos, Masechet Ketuvos. But there's one Maisa, I'll just give the abridged version. There's this chassid who was in shul, and it was the start of prayers. Let's call for 7 a.m. Rav David says it's so much better than I'm about to give it over. And Moshe Schiff said it once on one of the Zooms. And there was this chassid who was in prayers, putting on his talis, and it took him the whole davening to put on the talis. It took him the whole davening to put on the talis. So this, we're not going to say Misnagda, but this other Jew, this other Jew, he put on his talis, he put on his tefillin, he davened, shachrit, the whole thing, then went to work, maybe learned a couple halachot, and then came back for mincha. And the chassid was still there with his talis. So he couldn't help but ask. He went over to the chassid, he's like, why are you still putting on your talis? Right? You're basically not doing anything. You haven't been doing anything since I last saw you. And he responded like this, and this is the abridged version. I don't know exactly what he said. But he said something on the lines like, if you davened b'shem kol Yisrael, if you put on your talis b'shem kol Yisrael and your tefillin, and you davened shachri b'shem kol Yisrael, and you did your avoda, you did your work b'shem kol Yisrael, you learned your halachos b'shem kol Yisrael, then I did too. And from that point, from when Rav David and Moshe Schiff just related that story, it struck us. We do tefillos b'shem kol Yisrael. We learn b'shem kol Yisrael. We try doing everything b'shem kol Yisrael, mamish. And then we're not missing anything. Someone could, the hope is that someone goes up to Shemaim one day and they tell him, look, you daven 5,000 marvs. I would daven 5,000 marvs? I never went to marv in my life. No, but people do b'shem kol Yisrael. B'shem kol Yisrael, Chaver, b'shem kol Yisrael. Now there's a Maisa with Rabbi Akiva. And I gave a total abridged version there. So it says in Masechet Ketuvos, and this is the biggest story in the world. And there's a lot of meanings and understandings of this. But we're just going to relate to the fact that if one misses something in his avoda, and one who does a b'shem kol Yisrael could cover that, could complete it, the lashon of shleimus, completeness. So here we go. Akiva went and sat for 12 years in the study hall. When he came back to his house, he brought 12,000 students with him. That's amazing. And as he approached, in itself, as he approached, he heard an old man saying to his wife, "For how long will you lead the life of a widow of a living man, living alone while your husband is in another place?" Right. So the question was asked, like 12 years? You were gone for 12 years from your wife? And this is what the wife responded. She said to him, if he would listen to me, he would sit and study for another 12 years. So this is also Geshmak, that she wanted him to study for another 12 years in yeshiva. But this is the deepest. When Rabbi Akiva heard this, he said, I had permission to do this. And he went back and sat for another 12 years in the study hall. And when he came back, he brought 24,000 students with him. Right? After the first 12 years, it was 12,000. His wife heard and went out towards to greet him. Her neighbor said, borrow some clothes and wear them, as your current apparel is not appropriate to meet an important person. And she said to them, a righteous man understands the life of his beast. Right? This is a pasuk, a quote pasuk. And when she came to him, she fell on her face and kissed his feet. This is Rabbi Akiva. His attendants pushed her away as they did not know who she was. Right? They didn't know she was his wife. And he said to them, leave her alone, as my Torah knowledge and yours is actually hers. Chevra, this is the biggest. This is the biggest in the world. Rabbi Akiva was on the level of B'Shem Kol Yisrael. He's on the understanding of every Mishnah, every piece of Torah that I'm learning is my wife's, is all of Am Yisrael's. This is Geshmak, Chevra, Bezrat Hashem. We should all really feel this and live this. And any questions, comments, please feel free. If not, we'll complete today and we'll continue tomorrow. Yossi, you have anything?
I love the story. I also love the story of the Talis. Just
I have to find the recording and send you the whole thing. It's amazing. But yeah, it's very special, very special. Yeah. Rabbi, let's fire it up. B'Shem Kol Yisrael. Be well, Achi.
Thanks so much.
Peace.